will do. Let's go into that part. Alright, so how many of you know what machine learning is? Okay, before that, do you know that you and your life, you are surrounded with machine learning in your daily life, like from the time you wake up till the time you sleep, and even during the sleeping time also, you guys are surrounded with machine learning. Like, truly. Yes. You agree with me? Yes or no? Yes. So good. I'll tell you how. Okay. So how many of you have idea or have heard about or know about OK Google or Siri or Alexa? What are they? And how do they work? So if I talk about, these are your virtual personal assistant. Okay. So how do they work? Like for example, if I tell you that tomorrow is my birthday, let's assume if I tell you that. So there is a 50-50 probability that you may remember or you may not remember, right? Okay. So, but if I tell OK Google, tomorrow is my birthday, OK Google is going to wish me for sure. So in this case, it has 100% efficiency. Okay. So machine learning does the same. It is going to transform a machine via artificially ways, making the machine intelligent so that it behaves same like humans. That is what it is. Right? So how does it do that? It tracks your previous experiences, your previous behaviors, and on the basis of that, it predicts your future, the coming events. That's it. Simple. You have a model, you train that model based on the previous experiences, and that model, you pass the testing data, it's going to give you the output. Right? So this is what, and why we call it a virtual personal assistant, because we say, hey Google, send a reminder. Hey Google, call Neha. Hey Google, send a message. So these kind of tasks in reality we would have done if we have our PA, right? So similarly, we don't have a PA, and we have this virtual PA. So that is why it is called as virtual personal assistant. Okay. And if I give you another example, for example, Facebook. You guys use Facebook? Yes or no? Yes, you do, of course. Like if you won't have been attending the session today, you might have been scrolling on Facebook only. Just kidding. Okay. So if I talk about Facebook, so you might have seen something like people you may know or pages you may like. You seen that? Yes or no? Yeah, right? So how does Facebook know what kind of people you may know or what kind of pages you may like? How it knows? Simple, because it is tracking your previous history, it is training itself, and then it is predicting based on your previous behavior. That's it. Right? Clear? Perfect. So this is what is all about the machine learning, and let's see how we apply that in this example. Okay, so there are a lot of techniques to do that. We have regression, we have classification, we have clustering, we have recommender systems, etc., etc. Lots of techniques are there to do machine learning, but we need to identify which particular technique to apply in which particular situation. That's the most important thing. Okay, so we'll see everything then. First, let's go step by step. So we now understood basic Python. We understood how to take the input, how to use a loop. We understood how to use data structures in our code to make it more efficient. Now we're going to see that we have taken the input. We got the data. Now it's very important first to extract useful information from that data in order to pass to my machine learning model. So first, let's see how to extract the useful information from the data. Okay, so let me remove this. So for example, I have a string called from the@perfectplanb.net. For example, my place, and for example, the number of cases, red zone. Okay, so I've taken this one line. In reality, you'll be having like millions of lines of data. Okay, I've just taken one line for demo purpose. Now, for example, in this line, I want two things. I just want this username and then I want the place. So how to get that from this line? Let's see. So it's very, very simple in Python. You just have to do one thing. So for example, I use a function called split and I apply the split function on this string. So what this split is going to do? It's going to split this string into based on spaces. So this from is going to come at index 0. This whole will be at index 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So let me print and check. If I check what is at index 1 and what is at index 2, let's see. So you see, I got this at index 1, this at index 2. But I want only Jyoti, right? How do we do that? We can. So let me go ahead and save this in some string. Okay. So what I do, I'm going to apply this split again, but now it's going to be on the basis of at the rate. So whatever I give here is a delimiter. If I don't apply anything here, by default it's going to split on the basis of space. Now I have applied at the rate, or it's going to split on the basis of at the rate. So now you tell me Jyoti will be at index 0 or 1. Type your answer fast. I'm having a look at it. Yes, I'm getting correct. Okay. Yes, it's going to be at index 0. So let's see. Oh, I got it. Easy, right? How many of you understood this one? This is very important. The splitting. Very important part. Okay. Easy. Great. So now we have got the useful information from the data, right? Now we need to pass that information to our model. We need to train our model and we need to further test it to see how much efficient and correct the results my model will give me. Okay? Alright. So, okay. How many of you understand this particular graph? Do you know this graph? Have you seen this before? Can you make this graph? Okay. So again, I want to tell you this is just dummy data. So for example, this is a cases versus time graph, which tell you like as the time is growing, the cases are growing, right? So let's see how we can draw this graph with the help of Python. Can you draw this with the help of Python? Yes or no? And if yes, what will you use? Yes, okay. Some people know. Some who don't know, don't worry. I'm going to show you. Don't worry. So let's first understand how to draw this kind of graph in Python. Then we will understand what kind of model we are using, what libraries we are using, how are we applying machine learning to it. First, let's understand how to draw a graph in Python. Okay. So ignore the other code. Okay, focus here. There is a library called matplotlib. There are various libraries. I'm talking about matplotlib. So now what matplotlib will do? So it's going to give me this. I got a variable. And in this, I'm going to use a function called plot, wherein I'm going to pass two things. This thing is going to come on my x-axis and this data is going to come on my y-axis. So I need to pass it two things. The data that you're going to display on the x-axis and the data that you're going to display on the y-axis. Right? And these are just labels. If I don't give these labels, here it won't come. They will be empty. And I just call the show function to show how it looks. So majorly there are two functions, plot and show. That's it.
अब चप्पल खावा जन ला तू भाग ले
going to be 0. If my line passes through
हल्ला मत
150,
करने के लिए
the intercept is going to be 150. If my line passes through minus 150, the intercept is going to be minus 150. So basically distance it has from the origin on the y-axis. This is what is the intercept. Okay. So if if I have the slope and I have the intercept, I have the correct equation of my line. Having slope and intercept, I can predict the next particular value. So as you can see, this is a continuous data, right? So in this case, I'm going to use the machine learning technique